Hello everybody. Today we continue our discussion of frequently misused words in biomedical writing. These are errors that we editors see in papers and correct a lot, and we want to pass those on to you and help you avoid them. I want to start with the word respectively. This is a really big one that we see a lot. The word respectively is often misused in papers that we revise. Basically, the word respectively can save space. However, the problem I see is when students or authors will write a whole list of things and then write respectively at the bottom, and I have to go back and decode what A is that belongs to A, and B that belongs to B, and C that belongs to C. And this makes the reader have to do a lot of work. So the rule is you can say the word respectively for 4 things total. So AB, respectively, or AA, BB, respectively, but not ABC, ABC. No, that's 6 things. And not AB, not AA, BB, and CC. Again, that's 6 things. So 4 total. And I'll give you some examples here in a moment so you know what I'm talking about. Here's an example. Air and hydrogen detector flows for the first run and the second run were set at 85 and 4 milliliters respectively. Now the problem here is we have 6 things. We have air and hydrogen, we have first run and second run, and we have 85 and 4. Too many. The most we can have is 4. So we will rewrite and we will say air and hydrogen detector flows were set at 85 and 4 milliliters respectively. In this case, the first run and second run is not that important anyway, or if it's important, we will write it into another sentence so that the reader doesn't have to put too much together. Let me show you another example. Samples for D2H and D13C analysis were weighed between 55 and 60 milligrams into silver cups and 1.2 and 1.4 milligrams into tin cups respectively. Too many things. Here we have DH2 and D13, we have 55 and 60, and we have 1.2 and 1.4. So 6 things. We are going to, in this case, rewrite the sentence so that we can put everything together. We don't force our reader to match. They're going to know. So we're going to say this, modify it so that everything is together here. These were weighed into silver cups and these were weighed into tin cups. No need to say respectively in our second sentence. Even though it's a little bit longer, it's a lot clearer. And even though we want to be short, our number one goal is to be clear. We won't sacrifice being clear just so we can be short, as we see here. Let me talk about another problem, dose versus dosage. I see this word confused a lot. And the key point to remember is the word dose is for a single or total amount of medication. Dosage is the rate that the patient will receive the medication over time. So dosage over time, dose one time. Here's an example of this error. Patients received an initial dosage. Initial means one time, right? An initial dosage of 25 milligrams, and therefore a dose of 10 milligrams twice a day for 2 weeks. Now, these words need to be reversed. The initial dose, that's a one-time event, and a dosage, that's over time, a dosage of 10 milligrams per day twice a week. The word etc. is another problematic word. The problem I see with etc. is sometimes authors will give me a list, and maybe they don't want to say everything in the list. They want to give me an incomplete list. So they give me a few things in the list, and then they put etc. And when you put the word etc., you force your reader to guess what the rest of the list is. And readers usually don't know what the rest of the list is, so it's not being clear to use the word etc. Here's an example. The 2 groups of data were compared using a variety of statistical methods, including chi-square analysis, etc. T-test, chi-square analysis, etc. Now, the problem here is that I don't know what etc. means. Does etc. means other statistical methods? Maybe. Please name them if they are other statistical tests. Basically, the word etc. should not really be used in academic writing. The only time you can use the word etc. is when you know your reader knows exactly what you mean when you use the word etc. For example, numbers divisible by 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. See, you know what I mean, and you can guess, or you don't have to guess, you know what the other numbers will be divisible by 10. That's an acceptable use of etc. But when you use etc. just to mean other things that I'm not going to mention, inappropriate use, and a better word to use instead would be including. Including or such as. Such as and including before the items in your list means this is an incomplete list and there is more that I'm not telling you about. Here's an example. TRP is involved in substrate binding in most hydrolysis, including, and they give 3 different things here, etc. Actually, you don't need to put etc. here. The word including already tells me there are more, that this is an incomplete list. So including is doing the work all by itself. A, B, and C, etc. No, what would be better is such as. Now I know there are more, you're not telling me everything. Such as A, B, and C. Physical factors, joint laxity, knee muscular force, etc. were compared to activity scores. Now, these physical factors, these are examples. Joint laxity and knee muscular force are examples of the physical factors. It's not a complete list. So rather than say etc., we should instead say including or such as. Either one of those is fine here. Well, thank you for joining us today. For more information, please visit our blog, editing.tw/blog. We have a lot of articles on how authors can publish more in international journals, and you can read about it on our blog. We also provide editing and translation help for scholars preparing their work for publication, and you can upload your paper at our site, editing.tw. Thank you for joining us. Bye.